Hey guys, welcome back. I am here again with another Stephen Graham Jones review, this time for the short story collection Zombie Sharks with Metal Teeth. And I think it is safe to say that I really enjoyed almost every story in this collection. They were all really good. But there are so many of them that I think I'm just going to go through and highlight certain ones that I like the most and give a short summary about what they were about. So yeah, dog nipples. End of review. No. But yeah, that's not really a spoiler, but if you read it, you'll know. Anyway, so the first story that I really enjoyed was Age of Hasty Retreats, and it gives a heartbreaking glimpse into what a zombie apocalypse could entail. Personally, I don't like that possibility at all, but it's written well despite the grimness. And if you're an animal lover, you definitely need a warning for that one. Another story in this collection that I really enjoyed was how Billy Hansen destroyed the planet Earth and everyone on it. And it's kind of a sci-fi-esque story. And the first time, or the first thing that I imagined when I read it, the title, was it kind of made me feel like that Peter Sellers movie, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Just had that kind of feel to it. But basically what this story boils down to is just because you can doesn't mean you should. It is a cautionary tale of sorts, and it's really interesting. Another one of the stories that I enjoyed in this collection was Old Meat. And if you have ever taken a weekly newspaper, there's like these columns in it, like Dear Anne or Dear Abby, where you write asking for advice. And in this case, it was quite unusual. What if? So the basic premise was, what if after 38 years of marriage, you wake up one night and discover that your spouse isn't exactly who or what you thought they were, like literally, and you find yourself questioning the situation and sort of having a moral dilemma. Do you say something about it and or just carry on and don't let them know that you know? And do you still love them at this point? Because 38 years is a long time for this issue to have been a secret. And it was actually a really interesting story, and I really enjoyed it. Another story in this collection is Sea of Intranquility. Sea of Tranquility. Sea of Intranquility. That is very difficult for me to say. But basically, if you're interested in sci-fi and film noir, you'll really enjoy this one. You have space crustaceans and zombies, and you might enjoy the story. It was one that I found really amusing because it was just so impossible and unbelievable, but it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I know Stephen Graham Jones loves his slashers and horror, but I guess he also really likes his aliens too. So, fun stories. Another story in this collection that was really quite good was I Was a Teenage Slasher Victim. And that's about as Stephen Graham Jones as it gets. And it's probably the creepiest story in this collection. It's a slasher story with a twist. And it's classic in that it is set at a summer camp. But it's not what you're expecting. Not completely. And this one This one really gave me chills, honestly, because my husband and I, we met like eons ago when we were both working at a summer camp. So this one really kind of affected me, but it was really good. And the actual title story for this collection, Zombie Sharks with Metal Teeth, it wasn't bad, but for me it was disappointing. Um, and if you do decide to pick up this collection and read it, you'll understand why. I mean, come on. Zombie sharks with metal teeth. You have expectations. And they weren't really met. I mean, you get like a bit towards the end of this story, but it really kind of left you wanting more. And one last story I'll mention was probably one of my favorites, and it was submitted for your approval. And if you, like myself, are a Twilight Zone fan, then this is such a fun story. And I won't say anything more about that because it would really give spoilers. And that one I think you should go in without knowing anything about it because it is really good. And you can even read the whole story like in the voice of Rod Serling, right? So it's good. And before I close out this video, I just do want to say warning for domestic abuse, animal abuse, and death, aliens, basketball. I mean, whatever triggers you, but those are like the big ones for maybe abuse and animals. So overall, this is a really good, really fun collection. And if you haven't read anything by Jones and you want to just start with like little stories, this is not a bad place to start. So that's my review for Zombie Sharks with Metal Teeth. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.